Is Crimson Desert overrated? Well, yeah, that depends on you. The story is terrible. You can't skip the shitty dialogue, you can only fast forward it. And listen to me, the last thing you want to do is hear the people in this game talk. Even some of the main characters do some terrible deadpan lines like I'm listening to a zombie talk. This isn't even an exaggeration, there are so many cutscenes you have to slog through without skipping them. Remember that. Listening to your main character that can't even fucking emote because he's never felt a single emotion in his goddamn life. And then the NPCs are extremely expressive. This goes to the point where you are literally watching a kid bitch and have a tantrum while they kick around on the dirty ground over a missing goat. To grown adults waving their arms around in the air over and over again with a repeated animation as they freak out about their stuff being stolen like it's the end of the fucking world. And don't even get me started on the bugs, because this dev team actually wants to get paid. A lot of them are being ironed out, but seriously, having so many quests bugged because you can't even interact with the items or people required and you have to save and reload, which pre-patch took almost a whole goddamn minute, by the way. Thank God they toned that garbage down. And the list of problems just keeps going, people. Alright, get this. And this is an open world game, right? They do those predictable damn trail missions constantly where you have to follow these asshole NPCs at a very slow pace. And also, get this, they have no auto follow. They're laughing at us, I can feel it, as they force us from the very first mission to follow some NPC like a dog being pulled by a leash. Not like we're stupid, but like they can just force us to slowly follow some asshole for 5 minutes at a time. As I briefly mentioned, there are a lot of patches that are coming out at a rapid pace because these devs actually want to get paid and make a good game, apparently. Thankfully, these patches are improving our quality of life. There is instant interactions, so you don't need to hold interact every time we want to talk to someone, and mostly interact with anything, which holding is a terrible idea. Who thought of holding interact every time you want to loot a goddamn corpse? We are flying better, so we don't use all our stamina instantly, which is nice. Interactions work better, and a lot of them aren't constantly broken during quests anymore. The shitty load times got reduced. Performance surprisingly got even better since this game runs on ultra really well with de novo, which is a shock, and also a very shitty thing that they put that in the game in the last minute. These devs are clearly wanting to try and show respect to gamers. It was just off to a really rocky start, but they're doing a lot of good now. It won't save the story though. Puzzles and quests are everywhere, which is amazing. I love getting lost in a world, but some of the puzzles are terribly telegraphed, and some side quests are even better than the main story, which is hilarious. However, I've gotten sick of how you have a massive amount of freedom during the open world, and then how restricting and linear the quests are. You have to investigate this area with stealth, but oh, you got caught. Well, we're throwing you back to the start of the area, bitch baby. Do it all over again and do it our way. No freedom for you. The amount of back and forth between good and terrible in this game is quite astounding. One thing I can't stop praising is how amazing it is to waste time in this open world. I spent a whole day finding the best gear from the get-go, upgrading it to almost max level, because there are in-game zones that are literally blocked off to prevent you from getting too strong, too fast. Bastards. And then stomping on everything I see. Alright, so I want you to look at this graph right now, okay? So there's the ADHD, and then there's the autism, and then I want you to see that linear line that progressively goes up in the middle. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's how I work. That's my thought pattern right there. Combat is pretty fun, but very clunky, to the point where if you swing, you can completely miss because the aiming mechanic sucks. And since you weren't locked on, you swing in the direction you are moving, which is a rookie mistake to not have it tracked to the closest enemy in any combat game. Don't you dare get me started on how god awful these keybinds are. Who in their right mind thought 5+ different attack options should be set to the same keys? Yeah, this was a decent game, but pretty overrated. There are some really terrible aspects of this game that can't be ironed out with patches. The story sucks. The characters are either under or over delivering their roles and lines. And while the world and the combat are great, there are still some things that need to be worked on and fixed. And honestly, there's a lot about this game that shouldn't have needed fixes. It just should have been released at a later date and have had more people testing for these obvious flaws. But that's all from me, guys. You get the gist. Give it a try if you want. It costs a lot to live, and you can always play it for free. Bye, guys.